Okay. All right, let's see. If somebody wants to try and see if you can share this with those at the other stream, that'd be awesome. I'll go ahead and just throw this in general. One sec. Okay. I updated the name. I'm not too sure if that worked. I've never started a stream without any setup, so we'll see. Okay. Let me just see if I can share this now. I guess you guys can see what I'm doing right now, but let's copy that. Oh, it's definitely got some interesting stuff. There we go. All right. Well, there's a lot of stuff wrong with the stream now, but customize, let's just update the... All right, well, it's fine. Monetization can stay off. That's not really necessary. Okay. If anybody wanted to share this link with the previous stream, I'd really appreciate it. Cool. All right. Let me know if you guys can all see. Okay, so let's go 3 again. Make this guy a bit smaller. All right, and then, sorry, now I'm all disorganized now. It's here, okay, okay. This guy, cancel that. So we do not want to kill the stream again. So what we're gonna do, clearly the 3D isn't working. So what we'll do instead is we will switch to Qt. Oh, whoops. What we'll do instead is we will go to array lib. Oh, actually, I have it locally. What am I doing? Let's go to the tmp array lib examples. What we're going to do, so core, we're going to try and just do something really simple. So they have this basic example. I'm pretty sure this is all, oh, this is also in 3D. Okay, no, we want, trying to find something that's all 2D. I remember there was a 2D one, world screen random values. Okay, yeah, this one looks like it's 2D. All right, let's try this guy out. So we're going to swap main out with this. Sorry about the interruptions there, guys. So let's remove that and let's go main. Okay, compile that. Okay. Okay, so now it's generating random values. Perfect. All right, that gives us a pretty good starting point. So I see that we've got a comment already. All right, this is one thing that's kind of a pain is this thing. Let's just see if I can split this off. Pop out chat, there we go. And then let's shrink that back down. Lisp syntax is so Lisp, indeed it is. Posted the link in the previous stream. Thank you very much, Ace Bluff. Ace Bluff. Anyways, so now we've got something here. It's all 2D right now. Oops. Okay, cool. So we've got something 2D now that we can start making. So let's go ahead. So we don't have a box anymore. Let's see here. What can we do with 2D again? Let's make the frame rate like 10. I'm gonna optimize for that. Loop until world close. Ink frame counter. Okay, draw text. So I guess right now we're gonna have to try. We're gonna actually have to look at the array lib source, unfortunately. Because unfortunately I did look up ahead of time. Cute. Array. Sorry about the lib. So we're going to look at the raylib source because originally I had looked up all the stuff I was going to need to do for this stream, but now it's no longer available. Okay, there we go. All right, so raylib. There we go. All right. Sorry about that, guys. Now we've got the source, like the instructions. This is EXWM, yeah. I'm trying it out again because it's been a while and I figured why not give it another try. Okay. Let's just really quickly look through. I know they have some pretty clear examples. Core, text, Let's just look at this. I just want to get an idea of, oh, this is controller support. Whoops, not what we want. I want, there we go. Camera platformer. This seems like a good starting point. And does this have like, okay. So this is a pretty good starting point. So this is all C, but luckily, since this is all being done with CFFI, this is actually going to be really straightforward. Okay. Okay. So you got this. Now let's just see how they went ahead and did this. Position speed, none of this is all that important. What I'm looking for is update player. Okay. Draw text. Where's the draw rectangle rec? Okay. And then they've got the buttons. So let's go ahead. So we're gonna do, so we've got this game loop here. First thing first, let's try and just make a character. So we're going to do draw dash rect, and then it's going to require an X and a Y. So let's just go 0, 0, and then a width and a height. Let's just make it, I don't know, 2.0, 2.0, and then the color we'll make it red. Okay, this is all we're going to try and do. We're going to go ahead and just get rid of all that. Get rid of all that, and get rid of all that. Okay, let's compile the main again, and let's run it. Oop, abort. What did I get wrong? Width, let's just make it 2. Let's see. Okay. Cool. So now we've got that. If we just full screen this, all right, we can see nothing. Not the greatest start, but it's something. It's something. All right. So you can draw a rectangle. What else do we need? Once we've got a rectangle, we need to actually create the rectangle. So I'm kind of surprised that it's not asking us to create it, but I guess this is all good. Oh, I think we have to draw a rectangle. Draw rectangle dash rec. There we go. And now it asks for a rectangle. Okay. They create a rectangle rec. Sorry about this, guys. Just this should be good. And then we're gonna want to do window close, frame rate. Okay. Hello, Bomber. How's it going? Sorry if I seem a little distracted right now. I'm trying to catch up on all the, okay, random values. We don't actually need the random value, luckily. Frame counter, we don't need that. I'm just trying to simplify this down. Let's make this 30, 30. Okay, and this should be enough to give us something. There we go. All right, now we can see our rectangle. This is all we wanted. So let's make our game loop. We can go ahead and throw away what we've done. Well, we can throw away a lot of what we've done. So gonna go ahead and do the same sort of thing we were doing before. We're gonna do game loop, and then we're gonna take our draw. We're gonna put it here, and then gonna put it Y pose. We're gonna put that there. Okay. Now that should give us the basis for what we've got. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. That was a slow start, but now we should be good to go. And then Okay. And there we go. All right, bit of a slow start there, but we are good to go. So let's get this going and let's run our main. Okay. Okay. Oh, I guess we just don't have enough space in there. Let's just see if we execute that here. Now we don't have the, oh, the X is right up there. Okay. We're at least getting something now. Now why is it really small and up in the corner? I wonder if it's just this. Maybe 30, I guess, is not big enough. Let's try 90. 90. Okay. I don't know why I did that. Now let's try compile that. There we go. Okay. Okay, cool. Now we have a pretty good starting point. Sorry about all that stuff. Now we've got this rectangle. It's bouncing. Now let's just make the amount that it's moving by a bit larger. So right now it's moving by 1. Let's move by like 4. Or actually, no. We can actually just make the min and the max a bit bigger. So as we said before, this is the min. So we'll make the min -20. Okay, I guess it's bouncing way up now. And the positive will be 50. So we'll make this guy 0. Okay. The max is 50. Why is it getting stuck there? Probably because I've, oh, I see what it is. Okay, one sec. There we go. It's just because we were like above where our minimum was and it was messing with things. But now we should get a relatively slow moving box. Let's just go ahead and make the direction 10. Okay, it's a little jumpy. Let's make that like 9. Okay. How does it update the code changes so quickly? This is what's great about Common Lisp, is that it's not actually like updating all this code. It's every time I'm changing it, I'm actually changing the code. So you see right here, we have this game loop. Every time I hit control, oh, I forgot to do, it's a good thing you asked this because I would have forgotten it otherwise. Let's see right now. Can you guys see my keys? Nope, you cannot. That's kind of annoying. Why is it doing that? Let's go to, there we go. Of course it shows it right on the window you guys can't see. It really wants to do that. Let's just, oh, move my head up. Can you guys see that now? If I, there we go. Now you guys can see, so right down here, you guys can see the keys that I'm pressing. Sorry about that slow setup. So right now, let's stop the movement and let's just go and make pose 0. So basically what I'm doing here is whenever I'm hitting Control C, as you guys can see down there, that's actually compiling code. So basically what it's doing is it's compiling code, and Common Lisp itself actually will update its own functions. So instead of having to recompile this whole thing, it'll actually just progressively compile the parts that I tell it to. So now if I just undid that and compile this function, it will update it. And so that's basically how we can do this. Now we can make the range really large if we wanted to, and compile that, and boom, immediately our changes take effect. Now this would be a lot cooler when I was doing the 3D version of this, but just because the stream died, I don't really want to take my chances with that, unfortunately. And I'm not really too sure of a good way. I could probably limit the redraw rate manually if I really wanted to, like doing something like a sleep, but that's a little, I don't know, a little ugly. If I did something like sleep, or wait one sec, so do, and then let's just try this anyways, just to see if we can save some resources. Sleep 1. Oh, I guess this isn't even gonna matter. Let's put this guy in here. So as you guys can see, when I tried to compile that main, it didn't change anything, but now if I compile that, it's gonna sleep 1. Oh, there we go. So it's gonna be really slow, but now we should, in theory, save some CPU cycles. So hopefully the stream will be a bit smoother. And really all we need is to be able to see this. Actually, let's make this 0.5. Cool. All right. So now we've got this box going. Now I guess let's go ahead and let's draw another rectangle, and we'll call this like our floor. So we'll put this, just to make things a bit nicer, let's put this all in a let. And what this is basically going to do, we're going to get some local variables. So we'll call this floor height. So floor height, and we'll set this to 600. All right. Now what we're going to do, we're going to be drawing a new rect, and this will have a, what was this again? This was the width, I think, a width of 3. And that is red, and we'll just change this to plus brown. Okay. Now if we compile that, floor height. Okay. Did I make a mistake? 120. Oh, there it is. Okay. What if I made this 100? Okay, I see. There's our issue. So I actually went the other way around. I wanted to make this a 2, and then this guy, we could do get dash width, screen width. There we go. There we go. Now we got a nice floor right there. And then we will make the minimum that it can go to. Oh, sorry. I guess it would be the maximum, actually. It would be floor height. Okay. There we go. Okay, having the sleep in here does make it look a little ugly. Here's for the main game. Okay, let me catch up on the comments really quick. Share the page from where I'm consulting. There isn't really, so I'm actually just doing all of this like based on the completion. Oh, sorry, I know what you mean. You're talking about this guy. Here, I'll share this guy with you. This is, but basically I was just kind of looking at what some of the functions were called. That's what you guys can go ahead and take a look at if you guys want to see some of the examples of what you can do with this. Obviously there's some really nice 3D ones. And that one that we were looking at before is actually right here if you guys wanted to try it out. So that's that. Okay. Let's see what else you guys said. Sign, you're busy with rectangles and stuff. How did you update the code so quickly? Let's rogue. Yeah, exactly. Well, this is like, it's because like, I don't know. Like now the solution to like doing like hot loading code and stuff like that is like using like a scripting language and working from there. But obviously that's not, it's not perfect. Ooh, I've realized an issue. So my rectangle seems to go below the floor. Now, why is that? It's probably because So should bounce floor, and we want to do floor minus the box width, which I think is this guy. If I just look at the documentation, yep, height. So this guy, I'm just gonna box dash height. Okay, we're gonna make the box height 90 and box height dot dash height and minus box height. Okay, we're just gonna take this sleep out of here just because it's bothering me and I like a smoother thing. Okay, there we go. I should make sure that this actually works. Yeah, okay, it's off by just a bit. I wonder, oh, it's the width of this guy. Okay, floor height. We're just gonna do floor width. And we'll make that a 2. As you guys can see, I'm literally making this up as I go along. So let me know if you guys see anything that interests you, that you want me to focus on. Floor width. Okay, now we should see this bounce properly. Well, it's still going a bit too low. Let's see here. This is a really good example of how you guys can kind of inspect your code. So we see that this stuff is all going on. Now maybe it's our pose, so we could do Control-C, capital I, and inspect it. You can see, yeah, okay, the pose isn't really changing anything, I guess. We have the height, we have the floor. Let's just see here, floor height, box width. Oh, I just need to change that because we need to do minus. Actually, I think I can just do, I can't remember if it takes var args. I haven't actually tried this before. Floor width. Let's see if that works. Anyways, I guess I could probably have just jumped it over there. Oh, it's still going. Why is that happening? This is probably really obvious to somebody out there. I'm probably just not considering something. Box height, box width. So we got the pose. Is it possible after a frame? Is it possible to do the relation? After the frame. Ooh, that's a good point. It might be, I wonder if I actually just did, if I just removed the option to be equal. I wonder if that's gonna solve things. Oh, I just missed it. Here really quickly, let's just, I guess it's not really necessary. It's almost there. Still doing that. What is going on? We got box height. Compilations are very fast. Yeah, this is, I was just talking about this a second ago. This is actually like compiling part of the code. So the way that this is like Common Lisp works, like I was saying before, is when I like compile a function, like if I made this, well, I guess equals, instead of compiling the whole code base, I can just hit Control-C, Control-C, and it will update the function. So if, say, for example, if we wanted to have this go like 10, then I would just do setf. Oop, that was silly. Yes, I know, it's going to give me issues. There we go. Actually, let's make this like, I don't know, 30. There we go. So now, like, as you guys can see, it's actually like updating the running image. It's not actually compiling and restarting or anything like that, if that makes any sense to you guys. So this is actually changing the running. Oh, now it looks like it's working. Huh. Oh, maybe it, I guess it must just be, yeah, the duration of this jumps maybe. Oh, I see. It's because we were doing, so if we change this to 1, this is going to take a sec. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. If I do setf, evaluate that, it's going to be really slow. But Is it going to actually cross? Oh, there we go. Okay. Let's just make that negative again. Oh wait, no, we want to make it 1. There we go. This is me cheating if you can't tell. You probably shouldn't be writing games exactly in the way that I am. In fact, this would be a lot smarter if I was using the REPL, but I'm a little short on screen space. Wait, what? Yeah, that's correct. This is one of the things that Lisp is actually so great at, is being able to do quick, like people call it hot code reloading, but it does work very different from hot code reloading. It's not like loading your whole code base and well, I guess it technically is. The way that it's working is it's literally compiling and updating where your Lisp image is what they call it, where it thinks, oh my goodness, this is kind of hard to explain. It's kind of like, if you think of it in like terms of like a function pointer, if you guys are used to like C and stuff like that, you're basically changing where that function pointer is in memory. If I understand, someone can correct me if I'm wrong. And basically you're changing where that function pointer is pointing towards. So then when it goes to call that function, instead of calling where the old function was located, it's now going to call that other function. So I'm basically updating this function when it's called. Okay, we can take this away from, we can change this now back to, let's do 10 again. Somebody actually was totally correct. I didn't really think that part through, but basically, yeah, they were correct. The whole issue was basically that the numbers weren't lining up. Oh, now it's doing this. If we just set this back to 0, I bet you that's gonna solve our issues. And bam. Okay, there we go. So we fixed it now. We need to finally rewrite Temple OS in Common Lisp. At least Temple OS is a good example of something that does something very similar to what we were just talking about. Like Java class reload on steroids. Yeah, this is something that Clojure also, it was one of like Clojure's main goals when it was created. Rich Hickey, one of the creators, he was a Common Lisper, and so he saw the value in this, especially for, like, I use this was like really helpful. Okay, now I'm just talking. So let me know if this is really boring for you guys hearing me talk about this stuff. But on my previous job, like I got to write something in Common Lisp, and this was super helpful because I could basically launch the service on the server and just test the code as I was using it and make sure that everything worked. Which probably wouldn't be necessary in all cases, because usually you could just write correct code, put it on the server, and usually it'll work. But I didn't have a lot of time to do this. I was basically doing this on borrowed time. So as a result, I kind of had to cheat the system and do it that way. And it wouldn't have been possible if I wasn't doing it in Lisp. Anyways, oh, geez, it's like working with JavaScript. But yeah, exactly. It is actually very similar to working with like a scripting language in a way. JavaScript is a pretty good example, except with JavaScript, you still have to like reload the page. Like you can't save the exact state. Like say if I'm like really liking where it is and I just want to stop this, then I could just set this guy to 0. Boom. And I could just stop the entire thing exactly where it is. And then maybe, okay, now we're going to go up again. And I can like manually update it, and I can change it while it's running, which is really interesting. And super powerful, obviously, as you can tell. So like a good example with something like Common Lisp, or not Common Lisp, JavaScript is like, say, for example, you're making a web page and you have like a form and the person's filling out the form and it takes them through step by step by step. And you get to the 5th step and you're like, oh my goodness, there's an error here. I need to fix that. Well, in most cases, if you wanted to fix that error, then you'd have to update the code and refresh the page, and then maybe refreshing the page will take you to like the very start of that whole form fill out thing. You can't just fix it, see if it worked. Okay, it worked. Now I can, like, once it's worked, you can go back and run through it again and make sure everything's working properly. Hope that makes sense. Yeah. This is something that I plan to kind of talk about in a video, but I haven't had a chance till recently to actually show it off. So if you're kind of wondering why I haven't talked about this more, that's the entire reason. So we don't need that sleep here. Let's go ahead and turn that off. Okay. Clearly the stream seems to be surviving right now. Let's just see really quickly. We don't have any errors. All right, we're good. Cool. So now let's go ahead. What do we have as our x-axis? We have our x-axis set at 0. Let's change this to get-screen width, and then we'll just divide that by 2. And oop. Sign byte 32. Oop. This is when it breaks, is when you run into FFI errors, which is kind of annoying. Usually you can recover from the errors, but when you get an error that makes it all the way to the C side of things, you can't save it, which is kind of unfortunate. So there we go. So why is it giving me this? Let's just do floor. I think that's what we want. Okay, let's restart our main again. This is one of the unfortunate things. There we go. Okay, now it's lined up in the center. So I just had to do this just to make sure I constrained it to an actual integer. Now it's bouncing in the center. All right, let's go ahead and handle some key presses. It's unfortunate. Somebody was just asking in the Discord if they needed an account to chat, but unfortunately that's the case. We do this at work too. Software stack crashes. Bugger, and software dev team gets to go debug. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate because if it wasn't for, it's funny because like the reason that it's an issue is because we're dealing with C. If it was just purely common Lisp, this wouldn't be an issue. But obviously we don't have the luxury of an all common Lisp stack. We don't have that option, which isn't great, but it is what it is. Maybe one day we'll have a good option. I know there is a game library out there that people have worked on called Trial, but I've never used it. Anyways, so we've got this floor. Now let's try and handle some keys. So let's go back to this guy because I know he showed off the way that you do key bindings. If key pressed. Okay. This should be really straightforward. So we got this. So we got this main loop. Am I going crazy? Oh, that's why. Main. There we go. Okay, so this is what we're going to replicate. So in theory, you'd want to put this outside of the rendering loop. But just to make our lives easier, I'm not going to because I don't want to recompile or I don't want to stop the current setup. Yep, sudden live, indeed, sudden live. I decided really randomly that I was going to do this. Anyways, so we got this. Now we're going to go ahead. We'll see how this works. Sometimes you can't really like break out of loops the way that I am right now. So we're doing is dash key dash pressed. Okay, yeah, this is going to be limited by our rendering speed, but oh well, you guys kind of get the idea. Hopefully this won't be too much of a bottleneck. Okay, so is key pressed, and then this is kind of something that's annoying, is that I don't really know of a way to get the docs to pop up for you when you have this running. If somebody does know, that would be really helpful. Is key pressed, and you need to give it a key. Okay, so let's just do, so is key pressed. I think the key will just be a constant, key dash J, or let's do L plus. So when key plus is pressed, def var offset. I don't know, this is the best that I came up with. And we'll make this 0. Okay. Yeah, that should be good. And so this is going to be offset of player character. All right, offset of player character. Then what we're gonna do, I don't think we actually, oh, we divided by 2 plus offset. So this is really poorly programmed, in case you guys can't tell. So I wouldn't really recommend this. Let's just do player dash position dash x. Okay, there we go. And this is how we'll go ahead and store that. So we'll put that in here. Bam. All right. This is kind of how I just usually, when I'm playing around with stuff in Common Lisp, this is usually how I actually program, which is probably awful and awful bad practice. So if L is pressed, we'll do inc. So increment player position x. Okay. Oh, and we want to probably get rid of this. Oh, incf. Okay. Now let's see if this will work. Oh yeah, okay. If I press L, it moves very slowly. So let's do plus direction. Let's see how that goes. Oh, what is wrong? Do play direction. Oh, it's dir. dir. Okay. Now we should move about the same amount if we have a button pressed. But it is not working. Okay, let's see here. Why is that happening? Our dir is 10. Let's just go plus 20. Did I break something? Oh my goodness, Gavin, you're such a silly goof. You want to do player offset. Okay, now if I go here, okay, the L is indeed working. So offset, so we're gonna do offset. I wonder if this is gonna be, whoop, yep, that's a bit too far. Whoops, let's change that to 0. Set F. There we go. All right, sorry about that. We just reset it. So, okay, so maybe doing that. Let's just do player offset plus 20. Sorry, I'm not explaining all this too well. That's completely my bad. I should get better at that. But now we're here. Okay, now we can move horizontally. Now let's go ahead and do H, because you know, we're like that. We're gonna do those Vim keys. Okay, is missing some presses, which is probably what I was saying before with being limited by the game loop here. So what we're gonna do is, let's just try, so we're gonna put this outside of here, its own section. It's a little better, but it's still held up. If key, let's just see, down, pressed, released. Wonder if that's gonna make a difference. Okay, released is definitely better, but it's still limited. I might have to, I think to get a better, yeah, there we go, that's a lot better. It's not perfect, but probably take a sec. Okay. Whew, I've missed a few of these guys. Okay, let's see here. President Trump open system for special hardware that performed experiments. Damn, this is what you're doing at work? Yeah. It's essentially its own kernel. How are you learning Common Lisp? Do you like to read books on the subject? Yeah, sometimes. I don't know. I haven't really, the way that I started learning Common Lisp was reading Practical Common Lisp. that's how I got started. And then now when it comes to like learning new books, learning new topics in Common Lisp. I should pick up some books, but I haven't gotten around to it. I've wanted to do the Common Lisp condition system. That's a book that I've been interested in reading, as well as Let over Lambda is another one that's really focused on macros, which is another interesting one. Yeah. There's a group of Lispers in Facebook. There are a lot of old folks there. Dude, that's really cool. This is that's pretty neat. So unfortunate that it's like Facebook, but still. It'd be interesting to actually build with an FPGA. Yeah, Land of the Lisp is like really, if you guys are like just getting started with programming and Common Lisp in general, then I highly recommend Land of the Lisp. It's not like perfect. There are like some minor errors in it, but it's also just like a very fun learning experience. From the little I've read of it, I found it pretty interesting, and at least it has a very fun way of looking at Lisp, which is the best way to look at it, because Lisp is a fun language. It's not as like stringent and as clinical as something like you see with like Haskell. Haskell's a really great language, but obviously people take things a bit more seriously. It's a very different environment. And then SICP is obviously a really highly regarded book, which I unfortunately have not really read the whole thing, I'll be honest. Wish list had support service had support in Wish Lisp had support in could service providers like, oh, I see what you mean. I guess you mean like good or something like that. Yeah, it's unfortunate that Azure and AWS or AWS Lambda don't have very good support for it. Would be really cool. I actually haven't looked at those services, but I do know like the idea. I think it's kind of like an idea of like a function almost as a service, right? Is that correct? It's like a functionally inspired way of doing services. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. And okay. The moment of Racket is pretty entertaining. A lot of folks recommend Clojure for the brave and true. Oh, I did not know that Clojure for the brave and the true is a general Lispy book. That's interesting. Maybe I should take a look at it. I did program in Racket. The first Lisp that I ever programmed in was Racket. Sorry, now I'm just chatting with you guys, but anyways, let me know if you guys want me to just like program and explain what I'm doing. But I don't get a lot of opportunities to talk to people that are excited about Lisp, so it's a great time to do it. But yeah, I didn't realize that there were a lot of books. I assumed like all of the Clojure books were very Clojure focused, because at least from my experience within the Clojure community, which is very small, they all seem very, Clojure is the one and only Lisp that they want to work with. They don't have much interest in other Lisps. So that is good to see that there's books out there that cover that. There's a company that I consider Clojure. That'd be sweet. I actually have applied at a few places for jobs, that are Lisp related. Clojure is obviously one of the ones that comes up a lot. Oh, sorry, I gotta crack my back. I'm doing a lot of sitting recently. I'm taking like summer semester courses while I'm at it. So that's taking up a lot of my time. Now I'm sitting in chairs all the time. It's my day job. I've been reading this. To be better at Elixir programmer. Yeah. That's pretty cool. I've actually never used Elixir, but I know Elixir is very pretty interesting. It's actually another dynamic language, but I know that it has types as well. And I know I've like looked at Beam before as well. It's pretty interesting. I find the whole Beam VM really interesting. But yeah, that's really cool. It's great to hear. Learn Lisp the hard way. Oh, interesting. Lisp the hard way. I've never actually heard of that book, surprisingly, which is rare. I feel like I've heard of, didn't really know there was Learn Lisp the hard way, huh? No. How much is the stream delayed, by the way? Feel free to let me know. Programming is hard. It's not really, it's only got, doesn't have a lot of reviews, unfortunately. Let's see what people are saying. That's pretty clever. Sorry, this just gave me a little chuckle. That's interesting. I don't know. I can't really look at it. I was hoping they would have a, something on Facebook. I was hoping I could find an excerpt from it so I could read, but I guess not. Learn Lisp the hard way. Source code and oh. I guess they just released it for free. That's awesome. Contribution guidelines, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I just kind of want to see some of what it's saying. Interesting. Okay, sorry. I'm catching up again. Comic panel. That's our favorite part. Yeah, I feel like that's kind of the nice thing about Land of the Lisp. It's just like it's a fun book, which I think I'm a big believer that programming should be fun. I don't really believe in the whole, I don't know. I don't like the whole idea of like, oh, just do things hard because it's hard and you can say you did it. It's not like programming's like, I don't know. Some people take that idea of things like doing things the hard way for no reason a bit too seriously. And I think having a fun environment is an important way to learn. The stream delay is actually lower than the chat delay. Okay, that's good to hear. Yes. Welcome from Argentina, Pablo. I see. I must have found an older version. Yeah, no, I agree. That's one thing that I think the one issue that we have in the Lisp community is collaboration. And you do notice it. Like it's pretty extreme how bad. Now, this isn't really, I'm not saying that that's what you're saying, but like something that I notice is that there's very little collaboration on projects in the Lisp community. And I think the big reason is that everybody has their own idea of how I want it to work. I love your work here, Gavin. Thank you. I really appreciate it. It's good to have you, Kevin. What was I saying? Sorry, I always lose my train of thought. But yeah, I think one issue that we do have in the Lisp community is a lack of collaboration. There's not a lot of projects that actually have multiple contributors to them, because usually what you see a lot of people do is they say, oh, this is great, but I have my own way I want to do it. And so they'll write their own library, and then you end up with like 50 different versions of it. And this is the problem of Lisp in general. This is why we have so many Lisps in the world. And this is why I use, this is what led to Common Lisp. Exactly. And this is why the only reason, like, I don't think Common Lisp itself is like the best Lisp out there or anything like that. But I think the thing with Common Lisp is that it's the only Lisp that people seem to like somewhat agree upon. And for that reason, it's what we're kind of stuck with. But yeah. Hi Zany, how's it going? Okay, sorry, I got a little distracted here. Let's get back to this. So we can move the character. We can turn off the bounce now. Sorry, misaligned my hands. Okay, so should bounce do. Whoa. Oh, whoops. We don't want to do that. Set F do. We'll just do 0. Okay, there we go. Now we can stop the character. Let's set pose to 0. Oh wait, we don't want pose. We want, oh, that's a pain. Let's just do, what do we have this starting at? 600. C 600. Okay, 600, and then we got to do minus 90. Oh, sorry about that, guys. Okay, minus 90. There we go. All right. Sorry about that. There we go. Oh, and I accidentally undid that. There we go. And we don't want that. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. So anyways, back to this. So we've got this guy. We can move around, move horizontal. Okay. Now I wonder if we change this, I guess we'd have to cancel it. Let's just go back up to 60. I wonder if this would, wonder what this will do. Let me know if the stream starts to crap out again, because that's been my fear this whole time. Okay. Oh, whoops, let's cancel that. Let's compile the main. Okay. Let me know if it starts to crap out. Okay, there we go. I don't know how you actually would handle key repeat. I guess I'd have to do pressed, but now the update is a lot faster. So that was definitely it. It was that we were lowering the frame rate too much, which I guess makes sense. So it is kind of annoying that I'm capping the frame rate, but I guess it doesn't really matter in this case. Makes its own Lisp at runtime. Small story about yeah, I don't know. I think focus lol. Exactly. If you can't tell, I have like pretty powerful ADHD. I'm sure it's pretty obvious for you guys when you're watching. Okay, anyways, so let's see. Okay, so we've got this guy going. Let's do def fun. Let's do some gravity. Let's create some gravity. So I don't know how this is gonna work because I haven't actually made gravity before, and I don't know how this exactly is gonna work. We're gonna have to make some acceleration. So I guess we'll have to do def fun vert. Let's see here. So we have the vertical position. So I guess we need a speed that they're going vertically. So vert speed. Why am I defining all of these as globals? Because I'm not very clever. Thank you. This is what I've come up with. Okay, let's end that for now. Just because it seemed like it was kind of slowing down a bit. Let's just make the cap 30 to 25. This is I'm probably worrying about this a bit more than I need to, but better safe than sorry, you know? Let's compile the main. There we go. Okay, sorry about that, guys. So what we need is a vertical speed. So def fun vertical speed, and let's make that 0 by default. Oh, whoops, abort that. Quit. Var. That's what I wanted. Vertical speed. Def var vertical speed. Okay. So we got some vertical speed. Now we need a way to handle vertical jumping. So how are we going to do that? So we need def fun jump. And what that's going to do is we want to see So we have them jump, and they'll have to jump at a certain speed, and then it's going to slowly decelerate until we hit 0 and then go back down. So we're going to give it cur speed. Well, I guess it's not going to matter. So I guess we're just going to set it. Okay. I guess we'll jump. Sorry, I'm just trying to think of how this is going to work, because we're going to need to change the speed progressively. And by default, we're going to have the jump at 0, and we need to jump. So then we're going to set the acceleration, I guess. You know what? Let's just do jump and then vert speed. Set star vert speed 10. Sounds like a good weekend project. Hi Bensi, how's it going? Okay, so we got this. We're setting that to 10. So if that is that, and oh, okay. So we want to do. So when. So we're basically going to say when star pose equals. Okay, we're starting to get to the point that we might need to do some refactoring, because now I'm now we've got quite a lot of code here. Well, not a lot of code, but a lot of interconnected code. So we might need to start messing with things and changing things around. So when pose equals 0. So basically when we are no longer jumping. Actually, what is pose? Yeah, okay. So when pose equals 0, we should be able to set the speed to 10. Okay. And then the direction, so plus, and then we're going to do vert speed. Okay. So we're going to do that. Okay, so, cool. So now when you compile that, that shouldn't change anything. But now if we set, so it's going to go up, and then every time through, this is really ugly. I should probably refactor this, but when, oh man, not vert speed. Okay, actually no, when vert speed is greater than, so vert speed is greater than 0. So when we're jumping, what do we want to do? We want, I don't know how that happened. I don't know how that happened there. There we go. This should, there we go. Now they're balanced. So when vert speed is greater than 0, so we're jumping, then we're going to have setf vert speed -1. Okay. So now let's split this up again. So we've got the horizontal movement. This is our handling our jumping and stuff. Oh wait, we want to do. Okay, sorry about that, guys. And vert speed, so we need to do star. This is basically, once again, awful programming practice. Do not recommend doing everything in globals like I am here. I am kind of just messing around trying to come up with something so I can show off. Azure, welcome. Good to have you. Let's see how we're doing. Let's see if the stream numbers are doing okay. Oh, we're starting to lose some. Hopefully I'm not boring you guys too much. Anyways, so we've got this. Okay, now next up we need to handle the jumping. So when key pressed, the key is dash. Let's just do K, I guess, because that's like the up key in Vim that people are probably used to. Then jump. And we'll just, let's go ahead and just split these guys up into functions. Move dash right. This might seem a little silly, but I'm just doing this to kind of save myself some headache. Make this a bit easier to read. Move left. Move right. Okay, and then we've got jump. So right now the game is just a simple platformer. Originally what we were going to do is something in 3D, but it kind of killed the stream, so I decided to not do anything in 3D, unfortunately. So move character right. Originally the goal was to get a ball to bounce, which we've kind of done. It's using a box, but same sort of idea. Move the character left and make character jump. Okay. Okay, speed -1. Let's try this out. So we can do left, right, jump. Okay, our jump did not work at all. Let's see. So when key pressed K, jump. And when I call jump, if pose, what does pose equal right now? Oops. Pose equals 0. What's going on? So pose equals 0. Set of vert speed. And then vert speed should go here. Shouldn't change anything. When key is pressed, K, jump. Let's just see. So this is actually really cool. So we can go ahead and see if we're actually calling jump at all. So what we'll do is hit K, and then we will do CS Control R, nil. Returning nil. Interesting. So are we even calling this CSK? Okay, let's see if we're even calling this guy. We should be, because pose is equal to 0. So let's call it that, and then hit K, and then Control CS R. Interesting. Okay, let's go hit K a couple times. Interesting. It's not actually running this. What is this guy? It should be K when key is pressed. Interesting. Jump when pose. Sorry about this, guys. I'm not doing a very good job at running this. Do you use evil or normal Emacs bindings? I do use normal Emacs bindings now. They're just nicer for Lisp, and I usually, when I'm programming in my free time, I write Lisp, so it's pretty much all the same for me. The previous thing crashed when I did 3D. Yeah, exactly. It's described in the original Lambda paper. Okay, CSR. Why is it? Yes. When pose equals 0. What the hell? Integer 0. Maybe. What is this guy set to, actually? One sec. I don't know why I didn't check that. Okay, it's still set to 0. Okay, what we'll do instead, this is just a little experiment. What we'll do instead is we will just remove the conditional. We will unconditionally do this. Okay, let's compile that. And whoa. Oh, that makes sense. We want to do the speed is going up. But anyways, why is it? Oh, I see. So in the loop, so when vert speed is greater than 0, less than 0? Oh no, yeah, okay. So we want to do this. Sorry, everybody. I'm just realizing. I'm gonna do that. All right, well, we're at least headed in the right direction. So now vert speed, and we want to just do +1. And just to correct this, let's do set f. All right, position is 0. Oh, okay. Position is 0. We're doing setf equals pose. We're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere. There is evil in there. I just don't use evil all the time. Like for Lisp editing, I just don't use it. Because you can just, it's just really easy to jump around. And I feel like there's not as much need for a normal mode. I know, controversial opinion, kind of. Okay, well, I think we've gotten pretty far. I'm not too sure what's going on here. So we've got setf. This is why you don't want to do all this manipulation of things. We should probably simplify this a bit more. So let's put the, how can I simplify this a bit more? Okay, well, the big thing here, so player position. Okay, let's put all this stuff inside of this let, because there's not really any reason not to. Okay. So now, and actually, let's go ahead. Sorry, I'm just doing some refactoring now because this is getting a little out of hand. Cond, and we're gonna make the cond this. Okay, there we go. That's a lot better. Okay, we can do that. And then when pose, switch direction. Okay. Okay, so we want to prioritize the key presses, so they'll come further in the cond. Hopefully you guys don't mind this little refactor that I'm doing right here. I'm hoping it'll make this a bit easier to keep track of what's going on. Let's reset that pose to 0. I just realized that I had lost track of it. Okay. 30. Okay. Cool. Oh, that's my problem. God, Gavin, killing me here. My issue. Okay, player pose. Bounce. Okay. So now if I did okay, there we go. So now it's going up, and then it subtracts. And eventually, so vert. Well, if it is less than 0. Oh wait. If while vert speed is, I want to do greater than 0. That's probably part of my issue. Okay. And then the should bounce. Okay, so we want to go down by 1, but we don't want to stop. Okay, so we keep slowing down as we're going up, and then we need to start going back down. So if vert speed is 1, and then we want to do or, and then we want to do is on the ground. So or, what if we just did This is a bit ugly again. Not. I wonder what that would be like. Okay, and then we want to do, let's reset this back to 0. There we go. Okay, so now it's going somewhere. So we're getting somewhere. So if it should bounce, then vert speed goes up by 1. Okay. And then when the jump goes up to 10, is that right? Is that what we have doing? Yeah. When, so if should bounce, should I do that again? That seems a little bad. If pose equals 0, let's just make a new one, def fun, on dash. Yeah, better is all subjective, indeed. On floor, and then we have the position. So we need the floor off, floor height. I think I just need to be smart, you know? Okay, so this is the minimum. So let's make a, like, I don't know, what do we want to call this? Let's say, let's change this let to a let star just to save us some headache. Okay. And then what do I want to call this? Let's just do hitting dash floor. All right. Hitting floor. And then let's replace this guy with hitting floor. Oh, whoops, I made a mistake. Hitting dash floor. So if it is in floor, okay. We don't need to call this. Oh no, we do. Okay, hitting floor. Okay. Oh, sorry about that, guys. Took me a bit to. Oh, I just realized I've been having this error this whole time. Okay. Well, we did end up killing it. Sorry about all this stuff. It's easier to learn. Okay, sorry about that. Would you recommend learning normal Emacs key bindings? Because I don't know. It's really up to you if you want to try the normal bindings. I just use them because they just work everywhere all the same. Yeah, and all the documentation's the same. The big loss, I've thought about talking about, I think I'll talk about this in a future video actually, because it's kind of hard to really summarize in one video. I'd have to, in this little stream, why there are negatives to using the original key bindings. Not really the stuff that a lot of people say, like the injury stuff, because I haven't had any of that happen to me, so I'm blissfully ignorant. But outside of that, I could see that being an issue. Okay, I'm going to finish off this one last thing. We're going to compile file. Okay, then we've got our main. Oh no, what is wrong?